Hello and welcome back, folks, to another day in the arena where we have redacted Soldier Tribal. You can work on the redact part in the army redact, whatever. Anyway, so Soldier Tribal, it effectively plays like White Weenie, and I was just looking at some of the Ravnica previews. Soldiers with Mentor. So there's some rotation options available if you want to continue the trend afterwards. Anyways, it's basically just exactly that. Soldier Tribal, White Weenie, that kind of thing. Notable soldiers here. Fairgrounds Warden. Mentor of the Meek is another one with Vanquisher's banner, also kind of negating it with Radiant Destiny, Metallic Mimic, all that kind of negates it, but at the same time it's choose one or the other, that kind of thing. I'll explain as I go along. So at the bottom we have Leonin Vanguard. So if you have 3 or more creatures, it gets +1/+1 and you gain life each combat. Then we have Skymarcher Aspirant, 2/1 with flying with the city's blessing, so that you can hopefully close out a game just about the time that an opponent might get a board state. And then we have Adanto Vanguard, which can attack into set board state very effectively. Always pay the 4 life, that kind of thing, to make it indestructible. But yeah, it's one of those resilient beaters that really helps, like dealing with Fumigate, for example, versus Control. Well, I mean, he sticks around, and if Settle the Wreckage is your problem, well, I mean, just attack with not Adanto Vanguard. Then we got the 4 Bishop Soldiers. 2 drops are kind of premium. They're not really doing much, but the lifelink is pretty good with Anthem effects, I hear, so we're going to run Bishop Soldier. Then we got 4 Metallic Mimics in order to be kind of our first Lord / Anthem effect going on in the deck. And then we've got Baffling End as just a pair of to deal with early stuff that's actually problematic or really slowing us down. Something like that. The 3 Fairgrounds Warden will exile something as it comes into play, so that'll help clear out problematic stuff or slow down your opponent enough so that you can come up with something. And then Mentor of the Meek, where it draws a card for whenever another creature power 2 less enters the battlefield. Now that's why I'm saying this is only a pair of in the deck because of all the Anthem effects, because something's eventually not going to be 2 power. So yeah, you get a single Lord effect out of any kind, then say Bishop Soldier doesn't give you the proc. So we're leaving it at 2 so that the situation comes up where you're not drawing your Lord effects, then you can draw into them. It's still worthy enough, and a number of times you're all lorded out and you drop Mentor of the Meek, they're still going to target the Mentor of the Meek, oddly enough. It's like, oh yeah, he's just a 3/3/4/4 that draws me cards, air quotes. No. So that's so he's a good target after that. Militia Bugler, obviously searching for a creature in the top 4 with power 2 or less. That is not affected by Lord effects, so it actually searches up the entire deck. So you can search up everything in top 4 and almost always hit with Bugler. And then we've got 4 Radiant Destiny to lord them all out, and in this deck is just straight up Glorious Anthem. So there's that, Glorious Anthem with City's Blessing upside. Then we got 2 Vanquisher's banner at the top, just simply because this needs more Lord effects at the end of the day, so 2 at the top. That's kind of where I want to leave it at maximum. Deck is intended to beat fast enough that cast out Nixilon's Binding is not really a consideration, although you could probably board in some sort of mid-range plan with some cast outs and some larger soldiers. I'll just do a little bit of a larger forum. I never set up a sideboard, but I'm sure that you can find some unique pieces aside from some stock lists, like Everdon Champion versus Green, potentially Tecatli Honor Guard versus maybe a GPG or something like that. Those kind of things. We've got Gideon as well, who counts as soldier. Sergeant of Arms as a just straight up mid-range plan, or refuel versus control, and somehow a certain 5 mana goblin beats this out. That I can't recall his name. Baird, go wide plan. Leonin war leader if you want to just go bigger, that kind of thing. And like I said about the mentor, when rotation hits, heroic reinforcements becomes a solid inclusion. Anyways, Memorial to Glory is a land that produces soldier tokens, so that's a nice passive effect. We got 20 planes and 2 Shefet Dunes, and I forgot to hit unowned for the extra ones. Lena is another mid-range plan that just pumps your board full of more soldiers for all the soldiers you have. So there you go. There are options, so if you want to make adjustments, there's some notable ones in there, but I decided to go with the Militia Bugler sort of plan and keep everything super low so that everything's fetchable, but keep the mana low as well and try to see how low to the ground I could get it. Unfortunately, there's just not that many options, but the options are good where they are. Anyways, that's the deck. Let's get in some games and see how it does. Alright, we're on the play versus Lethal Top deck, which is not the kind of name I want to be going up against. Anyways, the first game I was going to record for the day ended up being the Go Wide life gain version. I'm going to give you a pro tip. Turbo Fog doesn't bother me. That deck does. It's just a million triggers with no intent to actually kill your opponent. It just sits there and gains life, but it doesn't actually do anything. Just slows down the game, that kind of thing. Anyways, let's see what our opponent's doing. Hopefully it's not that deck. Oh yeah, they're doing nothing. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's turn 1, buddy. It's turn 1. Get moving. Fountain of Renewal? Oh, good God. Alright, so we're going to need a super aggressive start then. And our opponent is just not wanting to be a part of it. We're going to do this so that we can get the life gain trigger, because if it is a reservoir deck, then we certainly want to be gaining life now. Then again, Bishop Soldier, I don't know. It's pre-combat versus post-combat. We have to hold a mix of aggression and life gain going, but we can get out of range of the reservoir with this deck. Unless it's a totally different deck and I've missed the mark. Prophetic Prism, sure. Not sure what our opponent's doing, but I would appreciate not drawing another land, thanks. We're going to need something else here. I mean, if anything, we got some Shefet Dunes action going here. If my opponent's running Golden Demise, congratulations. Like, eh? Power Stone Shard? Sure. Got a 1 mana trigger too? No. Alright, well, like I said about appreciating not drawing lands, I kind of appreciate not drawing lands. Play the land. We've got a Shefet Dunes, hopefully before any Brawl's Expertise action happens here, but they could entirely have it. Evolving Wilds says that they most certainly won't. They may have interaction, but we have Shefet Dunes, so it's anybody's game. And we're just holding that in hand so that they can calculate that way. See what they think is comfortable. Get by with. But I mean, a straight board wipe. Congratulations, you're lucky. Walking Ballista. That hurts. Alright, well, we're gonna have to fire it, so he has to fire that Ballista now. Let's get it done and dealt with. Let's get that Ballista out of here. I mean, we're drawing nothing but lands here, let's be fair. And we don't get the Leonin Vanguard trigger, unfortunately, but at least we get them down to 2. A Memorial to Glory is going to have to be the next land drop, unless we find a Vanquisher's banner. We have to guarantee this damage, because they always have every ballista they ever needed. Another shard. Yeah. Diabolic Tutor. That leaves them with 2 mana, potentially. They're definitely hunting for something to stay alive with. We need to just straight not draw lands here. But, I mean, their name is Lethal Top Deck, and, I mean... so far, they're living up to the name. Alright, never mind! We drew lands! They top decked lethal, they just couldn't cast it. I don't know what they were tutoring for, but it definitely didn't work there. Alright, we're in. We're on the play versus Iron Soldier. Soldier. I read soldier as I... whatever. You should have been Iron Soldier! Any inventive name that you could possibly come up with creatively for the internet, and you choose your name. That's fine, whatever. Metallic Mimic is either way, we don't care, because Mentor of the Meek. If it lives, it lives. If it dies, it dies. That kind of thing. Also, we have another Metallic Mimic. I mean, there is some argument for holding back a Vanguard in this case, but you never know what's going to come up. I usually just play the 1-drop so I have some points chipping in right away, and then I go from there. So can we hold a greedy play with it, though? Little Spinner's Puzzle Knot? Huh. I mean, okay. Mentor of the Meek's not going to be doing much from the looks of things. Soldier. Gain the life, swing in. If our opponent doesn't do something about these mimics eventually, they are going to overwhelm him. So let's see what they've got on 3. Weaponcraft Enthusiast is not something that really phases me much. I mean, it's annoying, especially when I draw Simply Land. Simply Land makes it difficult. So... this is a... he's gonna block here, right? This is the Marionette Master deck, obviously. So expect some board wipes, maybe? Let's Mentor the Meek. He's not doing much, but we can make him a 4/4. That's beater enough. Yeah, it's totally a totally that deck. Ixalan's Binding. See where I mentioned in the preview that Mentor of the Meek just absorbs everyone's hate? There you go. Alright, we're just gonna fire this now. Force them to start using these creatures. He either takes 7 when he gets the profitable, potentially Metallic Mimic block, or he saves his life total. He'll take the profitable block. Or, you know, his only profitable block. Okay. That does not make Shefet Dunes lethal next turn. We just want to get ahead of Marionette Master, although I don't know if it's going to be possible. Vraska's Contempt on the Mimic. Yeah. Yeah, sure. We're gonna have to. If it sticks, but he's used the Ixalan's binding already, so we'll see where it goes. I mean, he might be removal.deck and then happens to have a combo. It's kind of feeling that way. That no matter what we do here, he's just gonna... Okay, fine. You happen to have a 3-mana thing, and it's heart. Okay. So we're gonna need some actual soldiers here. Because now they're intent on not dying. Seriously? That's the best you could do? Come on! Whatever. We have to sit back now. Because we drew up to 6 lands without breaking a sweat. The Vanquisher's banner is an anti-flood tech for when we draw up to 6 lands. We just need to actually draw a soldier to counteract it. That's the problem with it. Uh-huh. So we're going to just need some creatures. We have the Shefet Dunes declared. Another puzzle nut, fine. We need to just find a way to push the aggression, even with these creatures. Got a land, sure. Okay. Skymarcher. I'm going to play this. Just straight up play it. If he's going to make a move, he's going to make a move now. So let's just make a board state. That's a pretty good one. Alright. So that gives us, well, City's Blessing for 1. This replaces itself, so no problem walking into board wipe garbage. But I need mostly an Adanto Vanguard. Another Bugler. And the Bugler goes and searches for something. He's got a trick, obviously. Vanguard, thank you. Okay, now I feel good. Now I feel real good. Unfortunately, we still can't quite attack, but we are going to drop Vanguard. And that's enough for our opponent right there. His board wipes don't work. That's how you beat the board wipes. Just drop a Adanto Vanguard, and then they're in a tough spot. Okay, we're on the draw versus somebody with a somewhat ambiguous pronunciation of their name. Renegade map on white. I'm going to Metallic Mimic first. Or Adanto Vanguard, depending on what we're actually seeing here. But they've got Evolving Wilds, Renegade map. Are they going Revolt plan here? I don't know. White-green. Oh, they're gonna do some shenanigans. Fine. You do shenanigans. I'm gonna drop a Metallic Mimic. Shift the turn! I mean, they may have an answer, they may not, but they are blowing up their map either way. It's totally Revolt. White-green Revolt. You don't run that many effects unless you're not running a Revolt mechanic. But then again, he just blew up his map at end step, so... Don't know. Lightcrafter's Bestiary, that's annoying. Opponent feels like going the long game is the way to go. We're going to get these guys out now, and now Metallic Mimic is kind of a whatever if he lives or dies, so let's get some damage in. We've got some bonuses off of him, so that helps speed this up. I mean, he could sit on the Bestiary and gain some advantage off it with some creatures, or he can deal with my Metallic Mimic. Land of War Elves is not the kind of thing I had in mind, but sure. He went to 3 with Bestiary without casting Elves, or he didn't have Elves in the opening hand, something like that. He's not paying the green because he wants to get these out. I mean, okay. He'd have to give up his elves in order for... Yeah, let's do it. He'd have to protect his life total somehow with this to, like, if he wants to take out the Metallic Mimic. Let's just send a truckload of damage, and then Fairgrounds Warden whatever he's protecting his elves for. So let's see, he's willing to take it all, which means something big's coming. Now, I'm wondering if he's going to go to straight to 6 with a Carnage Tyrant, because that one would be tough. Carnage Tyrant is the one that I'd fear the most here. Rishkar is not one I fear. Gonna pay? Not gonna pay, gotta stay alive. Well, I'm tapped down. Is there any attack you wish to do? Alright, Fairgrounds Warden. I'm going to do it now just to muck up my opponent a bit. I know that he's got a Blossoming Defense, but we can definitely screw with him. Yep. We get the Blossoming Defense out of the way anyway. Alright. He's at 1, which means he can't slip up. And we've got 3 more creatures, one of them being an Adanto Vanguard. Fairgrounds Warden is fair grounds for just swinging in with now, because it doesn't need to protect anything. So, yeah, I'm kind of expecting a hit of some kind, but hey, we'll see. Seal away? Feels like a ramp into nothing kind of hand, and we're not actually seeing something really big come along. Yeah, okay. Too much. Too much. Alright, we're on the draw versus Nizozu. Johnny. You're just a little bit shy of great. Just missing a couple pieces here, but we'll see what comes up on our first draw step. Because I have a feeling that might adjust things slightly, but I'm not sure. Sacred Cat, okay, fine. Yeah. Do this, and then I guess Baffling End can target, if they're actual cat deck, then we'll target their Double Striker Pride Mate on 2 with the Baffling End. And that's fine. Swings in. No problem. It is cats. Alright, well, Vanguard and Skymarcher. And obvious seal away is obvious, so go ahead. You're gonna have to tap down a little bit, opponent. Right, Sovereign. That's a real good Baffling End target. Alright. And we'll clear it away. And now he has to fire a seal away at sorcery speed if he plans on doing it at all. Some lands would assist in this whole everything plan right now. A Field of Ruin that can clear Shefet Dunes. Only so much we could do on 2, but hey, we'll see what happens anyway. Yeah. But a 3rd land makes it so that we can really start accelerating our plan. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't exactly get to City's Blessing, but we can certainly gain some life and make just a headache for our opponent. Because this is not a problem here. This Prowler, not a problem. It's the Regal Cargo that I'm more fearing right now. We just got to get the City's Blessing and get the Skymarcher going. Fairgrounds on their Cargo will definitely assist. Or Banner. Banner's a problem. That makes things actually a threat. Alright, well. City's Blessing. Life. Wayne. And we'll Bugler. We'll hold the Fairgrounds Warden for anything that's actually crippling here. There goes a Radiant Destiny, sadly. I'm not pegging him on board wipe right now. I mean, he could recover from board wipe easily. Challenging. Okay. Prowler, not a problem. It draws some cards, sure, but I mean, we don't have to interact with his Prowlers. Shefet Dunes, that's some little bit of cause for concern. I mean, we're sitting with a bunch of 1 toughness stuff, which is challenging. Not playing your last card, holding up 4 mana tells me a lot right now. Is either that it's the Caracal or, like, there's something up here. Okay, or nothing. No instant, no Settle the Wreckage. This is the kind of deck that I expect to run Settle the Wreckage. If there's a creature deck I expect to run Settle the Wreckage, this is it. Leonin, that's a good enough target for the Fairgrounds Warden. Our opponent has a clear power advantage since we just don't have any Lord effects whatsoever going on right now. We don't have any Mentor of the Meeks. We have nothing going on right now, which makes things difficult. Alright, well, Leonin War Leader, you can go away. Just 0 effects. Alright, now our opponent has clearly shown they're not running any settled effects, so let's get in for a couple more points. And I just gotta drop this. It feels like it's cast out, is what it feels like. Or Ixalan's Binding. But now we're at the state where, if that's exactly what it is, and it is, if he targets Fairgrounds Warden, he's dead. Well, mostly. He has to attack now. If he doesn't attack, then he's dead. Yeah. He has no effects to bolster this, so we're going to just punk it out here with the Bugler. So that lets him live. I mean, that was just basically free for us. We're at 33, so we could take quite a beating. We just gotta beat the lifelink. So taking out their lifelink, no problem for us. Ouch! This is just straight up easier than Shefet Dunes. Not to mention it leaves us with a defensive board state. And vigilance, by the way. All the way, by the way, vigilance. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the ground is not going to happen here. But we can definitely get in for a ton of damage and still have the Shefet Dunes for next turn to push the remainder amount. So we finally draw a Lord effect, and it's beautiful. So his only hope is finding flyers or enough lifelink to, like, if he top decked a Caracal, that would be quite a significant threat. And we'd have to deal with the board then. But other than that, no, not really. He could feel to ruin the Shefet Dunes, but what's he doing at that point? Fura Prowler as your top deck is not going to save you, though. Pride Sovereign, that's not going to save you. But he could draw exactly what he needs here. He's not out of the realm of possibility. If he drops a Caracal and Alphas on us. That would be quite a significant chunk of damage. So he's in a tough spot, and he has to draw exactly Regal Caracal, I believe. Or, like, if he is running Cell of the Wreckage, then great. But, nope, he's going to go with the life gain plan. He has to attack with both. Yep. And that as well, sure. Okay, so that's quite a chunk of damage. So let's take advantage, or advantageous ones. So here, these cats stick around, so I actually have to consider them. But 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers versus 5 ground attackers. Yeah, I'm gonna factor in that as well. So he's at 15. Okay, so with that, we get 9, 10, 11, 12. So a single thing gets through, which is definitely 3. Okay. Single thing gets through on the ground. And that should be enough. Came close, but just wasn't enough. And all his lifelinks at home, so there you go. Got there. Soldiers beats cats, I guess, with cat soldiers. Cat soldiers beats cats. Okay, folks, so that's Soldier Tribal for you. As I said, it feels like White Weenie, you know, just a little bit of resilience behind it, some big beaters, that kind of thing. Just eventually, your creatures are a little bit tougher than theirs. That's the plan, anyway. And then occasionally it can spike out in early aggro, as we saw as well, where you have to deal with it. Knight's similar in its fashion. Like, it plays a lot like Knights in its way, only tribal. And as I mentioned before, Ravnica seems to be wanting to play a lot of Boros soldiers. So, I mean, if you have shock lands plus check lands, you could probably pull off a solid Boros. I mean, with, as I mentioned, I just wanted an excuse to run Heroic Reinforcements, of course. It's solid. For a soldier deck, that is solid. And just tie that in with a few of the Boros soldiers, you could probably pull off something serious. And I think this deck might just get better after rotation. The only thing that we're going, like, the things that we're going to be dropping on rotation. Metallic Mimic, I mean, the deck might change its elements on how it's built, but you get my point. It probably gets better with better replacements. Like, Metallic Mimic, we lose, but we gain Mentor. which pumps up all our small stuff anyway. So you can see where that's just kind of a moot point. It's like Metallic Mimic, who cares? It can go. We're getting something that actually functions for the deck just fine. So I don't mind this one. Then Fairgrounds Warden we're losing, but I mean, we still have Ixalan's Binding plus whatever else they could come up with. We may not need Fairgrounds Warden, so no big deal. And then, what else are we losing? Shefet Dunes, which is a sad one to lose with your mana base actually doing some really solid work. But, whatever. It's fine. I think that the deck might have some solid go-wide synergy. It's kind of go wide, half go wide, half solid big beats. So, I mean, the format of the deck may change, but it looks like we're getting some good soldiers to come Ravnica. So keep an eye out for this deck for the Boros form. I think it might have some legs afterwards. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed. That's the soldier deck for now. And take care. Bye-bye.